you tired of constantly being shot in the back in Arc Raiders? Of run after run being filled with lost loot, stressful skirmishes, and dead teammates? Are you tired of the violence, the destruction, the death, when all you wanted to do was get a lemon for your starving Scrappy? If that's you, there are still locations scattered across each map that offer safe and high quality loot, so today on Game Rant, let's look at the best zero stress looting locations on each map of Arc Raiders. First, let's stop at Bluegate. I don't know what it is, but I feel like in general, Bluegate is one of the friendliest maps in the game. It's also full of hotspots that are low-key but have great loot. Two to mention are the Ancient Fort and Raiders Refuge, which are two puzzle locations that rarely have other raiders working on them. The puzzles are fairly simple, one requiring fuel cells and the other requiring you to press buttons. And both have guides that you can find over at GameRant.com. I'll leave a link for those in the description. I personally think finding the buttons at Raiders Refuge is a little easier, but I would just go to the one that you spawn closer to. The loot in these cellars is incredible though, and there's an added bonus if you've skilled up for Security Breach. There's also a guaranteed gun case if you go to either, and they're absolutely worth the hassle. Another place worth the hassle in Bluegate is the unmarked Reinforced Reception, which has a super simple puzzle that rewards you with excellent loot. Basically, you find one of 3 power boxes that contains 3 batteries, and you move those batteries over to a big door, and the batteries open up the door. Behind that door is typically a wealth of loot. I will say this place can get flooded with arc, so it's best to run this puzzle as a trio with each person grabbing 1 battery and taking it to the door. Okay, next on to Damn Battlegrounds, the map which I would consider to be the second friendliest in the game. There are plenty of easy locations on Damn Battlegrounds to loot without entering the danger zones of the map. Formikai Outpost has become one of my favorite quick stops though. If it's not near you when you start a run, it's definitely not worth it, but if you get one of the many spawns that are close to it, a quick trek up can reward you with some gear that might make you want to extract on the spot. From a lucky gun case to a pink rarity item sitting in a trash can. I feel like the loot here is always way better than it should be. The other place that you always have to visit on a run of Damn Battlegrounds is Ruby Residence. There are multiple spawn points that run you right through it, and it is full of useful items. Unlike Formikai Outpost, I don't think I usually find high rarity loot in here, but it's a bunch of stuff that I've needed, especially for workbench upgrades. Since it's a residential area, you can get toasters here, valuable trinkets, and other useful gadgets. It's 3 buildings that have a decent amount of loot in them and almost never any conflict. And if you want to keep the safe run going, you can hop on down to the old Battlegrounds and loot up some husks as well. Okay, the next map is Buried City. Buried City can be a mixed bag in terms of combat, but night raids here are typically shoot on sight. If you're looking for a safe place to loot in Buried City, Murano Station is a great option. It has 4 little containers only guarded by a breachable door, and it's completely on the outskirts of the city with the option for a Raider hatch key extract right next to it. I found consistently good loot in this location, and it's a great place to avoid the high danger that lurks in the tight corridors of Buried City. Piazza Arbusto, though, offers a ton of quest items and crafting materials that you're gonna need. Everything medical can be found in this building, and I have never seen it looted even late into the game. It's got a ton of loot locations, and the only cost of entry is a breachable door on the outside. But this is also kind of one of this location's benefits, as it's the only way for enemies to get in, so if you're looting here, you know exactly where to guard. Regardless, it's one of my favorite places in the entire game to loot, and it gives consistently good items. After that, I want to talk about Spaceport. I feel that Spaceport is a very combat-driven map, but it is also spread out enough that if you want to patrol across the edges of it and pick up an item or two, it can be awesome. One of the areas that is marked and has a ton of great loot but is almost always absent of players and of Arc is Rocket Assembly. It's a yellow marked area, but it's not quite a hot spot, seeing as how it's surrounded by red marked areas that drive a lot more player congregation. It's pretty easy to get into and out of Rocket Assembly without a scratch, and there's a ton of stuff in here worth grabbing. There's a boatload of industrial and Exodus materials in here to snatch, stored up in drawers and containers. But honestly, in Spaceport, there are a lot of good locations scattered around the periphery if you don't want to try to go in and fight. Okay, the final map in Arc Raiders to discuss is Stella Montis. If you want to get loot and not get in a fight, don't go to Stella Montis. Stella Montis is a place for combat, and any effort to be friendly here is always met with a nice bullet in the back of the head. There's extract camping, don't shoot betraying, and evil shredders patrolling each hall. There are some great loot locations here, but to extract, you're almost assuredly going to have to go through some zones with probable danger. So if you're seeking to avoid fighting, I would just avoid Stella Montis as a whole. So that was a guide of some places to go for easy, pain-free loot in Arc Raiders. I hope I could give you some destinations to hit on your next run. I know I probably didn't hit everyone's favorite location, but these are mine, and I reliably go to them when I spawn on these maps. Let me know of your favorites down in the comments below, and for everything else, go over to GameRant.com for news, reviews, and features. That's all, and thanks for watching.